Hello my friends, it's Lisa and today I'm going to be doing a book haul. I have acquired some books over the past few months since my last book haul and I wanted to share them with you guys. I did have a birthday back in August, so some of these books are from friends who were kind enough to gift me things, so I'm very excited to share them with you. I also did just get some books on my own because of course, so I don't think there's much to say. Let's just get into the book haul. So I think the first three books I actually hauled in a vlog a few months ago, just because when I do buy books and I'm vlogging at the same time, I tend to show them. So I'm going to go through these ones a little quickly, but the first one is Heartstopper Volume 3 by Alice Oseman. This is the third volume, obviously, of the Heartstopper series, and it was just as cute as the first one. You're following Nick and Charlie, as in the first volume, they're kind of developing feelings for one another, and it's just following their relationship, and it's too cute. It's so good. So I did actually read this recently as well, so I have read this. It was great. 5 stars. I don't think I'm ever gonna give a volume of Heartstopper less than 5 stars, so that's just to be expected. So the next book I actually got at the same time I got Heartstopper Volume 3, and that is Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I was at Barnes & Noble specifically to get this because I was really excited for this book. It was one of my most anticipated books of the year, so of course I had to go out and get it like as soon as possible. I also have read this book already. I know this isn't like a review, this is a book haul, but I have read this. I gave it a 4 or a 4.5 star, I think. I did quite like it. I definitely don't like it as much as Daisy Jones or Evelyn Hugo, but it was still really good. I think Taylor Jenkins Reid is a very talented writer. But if you don't know what this book is about, we're following the 4 Riva siblings. There is this party that they throw every single year, and this book is kind of set over the 24 hours leading up to the party and during the party, and there's a lot of drama. There's all these characters got their own things going on, and their father is Mick Riva, who is actually a character from Evelyn Hugo. I think he might also show up in Daisy Jones, but I could be mistaken. But Mick Riva is a famous singer, and all of these kids are kind of known for being his kids. So it's just, you know, there's family drama, there's a party. It's set over 24 hours, which I think is fun. So I definitely would recommend if you are interested in this, but I definitely didn't love it as much as some of her other books, but still happy to have it in my collection. And then the last book that I got, again, the same Barnes & Noble trip, I got One Last Stop by Casey McQuiston. This was a bit more of a spontaneous purchase because I figured I was going to read it anyway, and I saw it at Barnes & Noble and I was like, why don't I just get it? And then all these negative or mixed reviews kind of started coming out about this book, so I'm a little scared to read it. I'm just going to keep putting it off. But this book is a romance between these two girls, and this girl on the train is actually like stuck on the train, and she's from the 70s. It says in the description she's literally displaced in time from the 1970s. So I think that that's interesting that there's a little bit of a magical element to it, but I'm really excited to read it. I'm very nervous to read it now that I've seen so many like mixed reviews, but I'm still excited to read it. The concept sounds really fun, so we'll see what I end up thinking of it when I end up reading it. Alright, so the next 6 books I got a couple months ago when Barnes & Noble was doing a sale. I don't remember exactly what the sale was, but I saw they were doing a sale. There were a lot of books in the sale that I wanted to read or wanted to pick up, so I thought I would take advantage of it. So the first one is actually a book that I had already read, but I read it as an ebook, and I wanted to have a physical copy, and that is The Sun Is Also a Star by Nicola Yoon. So I read this book back, I think, in December of 2019, and I really enjoyed it. I think this book was like $5 with any purchase for a little while. I don't know if that's still happening, but it was on sale for $5 if you made a purchase, and I was already purchasing books, so I figured I would get it because I did really enjoy it. I wanted to get a physical copy, but in this book we're following this girl who's being deported to Jamaica in the next 24 hours. So she kind of has one last stay in New York, and then we're also following this boy who kind of has these plans set out for him that he's not sure if he actually wants to do. So I think he's kind of meandering throughout New York, and they end up crossing paths, and then they kind of spend this one last stay together, and I really like it. I know some people don't like it because it is a bit insta-lovey. I mean, it's set over 24 hours and they literally just meet at the very beginning of this book, so it is a little insta-lovey, but I like it. I think it works. I know some people just don't like insta love at all, but I think it can be done in a good way, and I think this is an example of it being done well. So if you haven't read this book yet, please do. So the next few books I think were actually a part of that Barnes & Noble sale, so I ended up picking Long Way Down by Jason Reynolds. I've heard a lot of great things about this author and this book in particular. I mean, it has quite a few award stamps on it, so I'm very excited. I do not know much about this book. I think that there's something about an elevator and like different people come in the elevator, if I'm remembering the right book correctly. Yeah, 60 seconds, 7 floors, 3 rules, 1 gun. I don't know. I really just kind of want to go into it without knowing much because I think this is written in verse. Yeah, so I think it's going to go really fast, so I don't want to know too much about it. So I'm excited. I've heard so many great things about this one. I also picked up Felix Ever After by Kaysen Callender. And first of all, everyone just take a minute to appreciate this cover. Thank you. But I'm super excited to read this book. I've heard nothing but good things about it. I believe it's about this boy named Felix whose pictures before he transitioned end up going around school, and his dead name I think is also publicly posted, and I think he ends up kind of trying to figure out who did this while also dealing with, you know, relationships and also just being like in high school. So I'm excited. I think it's going to be good. I've heard, like I said, nothing but good things, so I'm very excited to finally read this. I also picked up a book that has been getting a lot of hype recently, and that is Ace of Spades by Farida Abike-Emede. I'm so excited for this book. I've seen so many good things once again, and I think it's about these 2 students who end up having things like spread around the school about them. It's kind of like, I've heard it compared to Gossip Girl as well as Get Out. I've also heard that the like plot twists and the ending and everything are wild, so I'm very excited. Once again, don't want to know too much going into this because I think there's going to be a lot of fun twists and turns and things like that. So I'm excited to read this. I want to pick it up soon because I think it'll be good for October, perhaps. So maybe I'll be reading this soon, but I'm very excited to pick it up once I do. And then I think Barnes & Noble was also doing a sale on classics at the same time. I don't know if they were a part of the same sale, but I ended up picking up 2 Jane Austen books. I ended up picking up Persuasion and Sense and Sensibility. I want to read more classics and I want to read more Jane Austen. I've read Pride and Prejudice, and that's it. But I love Pride and Prejudice so much. It's one of my favorite books of all time. So I, of course, wanted to read more from Jane Austen. So please let me know if you've read either of these, your thoughts, which one I should start with. I also have Emma, which I got like last year, 2 years ago. I think it was 2 years ago. I don't know. Time is an illusion. But I would love to know which one I should maybe start with. I would love to know your thoughts. But very excited, and they do match my edition of Pride and Prejudice as well, so that's always a plus. The next book, I actually got a physical copy sent to me from the author because I read an arc of it a couple of months ago, and that is Sleeping Around by Morgan Vega. So Morgan is actually a YouTuber. She does booktube and authortube type of content, so I'll have her linked below, but she released this book back at the beginning of August, and she was very kind in sending me a finished physical copy. I went to, I think, one of like the release day parties that she was doing, and she was like, I'm gonna send you some goodies, like thank you for coming, and what ended up turning up was some stickers, I think a print that I put in the book, a bookmark, and the actual physical book, which was not expected. It was very unexpected to actually receive the physical copy. I thought she was just gonna send me a couple stickers, which was like more than what I wanted. Like I was just so excited to receive stickers. So this was a very pleasant surprise. So thank you to Morgan for sending me this, and also congratulations again on the release of your book. And I'm very excited to reread this physically. It's just going to be a great time. So I think the next few books were books that I received for my birthday. I have such wonderful and kind friends, and they did not need to send me anything or do anything, but they did, and I'm very lucky. So I think the first one that arrived was Pachinko by Min Jin Lee. This was sent to me by Sid from Sid Bookworm. So again, anyone that I mention, I'll have in the description because you should go and subscribe and watch them because I love them very much. But I don't know too much about this book. I'm definitely going to have to do some research into it. It does say on the front that it's following a 4-generation saga of a Korean family, and I really just put this on my wish list because of Sid. I've heard her talk about it so much and she really enjoyed it. I also think Alex from Alex on the Block really liked this book as well. So basically because of them, I put it on my wish list and then didn't actually really look into what it's about. So I'm very excited to read this. And thank you, Sid, for sending me this. I love you so much. The next book I got was from Rachel from Let Me in the Library, and she got me We Hunt the Flame by Hafsa Faisal. And this was just so exciting because I put it on my wish list once I had started listening to the audiobook of it, and when it arrived I was only like 100 or so pages in, so I was able to read like the rest of the book physically, and I really enjoyed this book, so I'm very happy to own it. I feel like I do not know how to explain this book very well, but basically we're following these two characters from very different backgrounds who have both been sent on this journey to retrieve this thing that could potentially bring magic back to their lands. And the like kind of tagline on the top of the back of the book says, "People lived because she killed, people died because he lived." If that's not enough to get you to read this, I don't know what will. So yeah, I really enjoyed this. I am so happy to have a physical copy and also for it to have been a gift from one of my bestest friends. So thank you, Rachel, so much for sending me this. I'm super happy to own it in my collection, and I'm very excited to continue on with this series. And then my friend Andrea sent me the Atlas 6 by Olivia Blake. It's Olivia, but with instead of an A, it's an E. Olivia Blake, I think. And once again, don't know what this is about. I think there's magic. I think people say it's dark academia. That's all I know. I know this is a very popular book on, I think, Book Talk. And I've seen a lot of people on Book Twitter talk about it as well. So I'm very excited. I don't know what I'm getting into, but I'm excited. I've seen really great things. And thank you, Andrea, for sending me this. I love you a lot. And then the final two books I have to haul are actually both from my friend Casey. We all know Casey. I never shut up about Casey. We love her on this channel. So the first book she sent me was one of my birthday gifts. I don't know. I think the other book she just sent me because she wanted me to read it. But this one was a birthday gift. And she got me A Sky Beyond the Storm by Sabatir. A signed edition, the special edition, I think. Is this the Waterstones edition? It has the purple edges. I don't know. It's beautiful. I love it. I'm very excited to own this. I'm definitely going to have this on display once I kind of reorganize my bookshelves a little bit, but I'm so excited to own this. It's signed, like I said. There she is. Look at how stunning. I'm so excited to own this. This is the final book in the Ember in the Ashes series, which is one of my favorite book series of all time. I love it so much, and I am just so happy to own this special edition. It's very special, not only because it's signed and the beautiful cover and the sprayed edges, but it was also a gift from one of the most wonderful people in my life. So thank you, Casey. You know I love you, and I'm gonna go cry every time I look at this, so thanks. And then the final book for this book haul also came from Casey, like I said, and she got me The Spanish Love Deception by Elena Armos. I'll figure it out. So I have seen this book show up on Twitter quite a lot. Everyone is loving this book, and Casey was reading it and she just texted me and was like, "Lisa, you need to add this book to your wish list right now." She was yelling at me, so I was just doing what I was told. And a couple days later, it arrived on my doorstep. So I'm super excited to read it. I feel like if Casey's loving it, if everyone's loving it, like there's no way I'm not gonna love this. I think it's like a fake dating sort of situation. I believe the main character's sister is going to be married in Spain, and her like ex-boyfriend is gonna be there with his new wife, and she doesn't want to show up alone. So I think her colleague that she doesn't like agrees to be her date if she'll go on a date with him for something. I'm not really sure, but I'm excited. It's fake dating. It says he's 6'4". That's all I need to know. So very excited to read this. I actually think I'm going to be starting it the day I'm filming this book haul because I need some good serotonin, a good romance to lift my spirits. I think it'll be a good thing to read right now. So I'm very excited to pick it up, and I hope I love it as much as everyone else is because everyone's loving it. I want to be involved. Alright, so that was actually the final book, so that is going to be it for this book haul. Once again, thank you to anyone who sent me a book. You all know I love you so much and appreciate you, and once again, I will have anyone that I mentioned linked below. I'd also love to know which books I should be prioritizing, which ones I should be moving to the top of my TBR, so definitely let me know out of the ones I have not read yet, which ones I should be trying to get to soon. But I think that that is going to be it for this video, so thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.